Hi ho, everybody.
Gringo Scott here, and today we'll be going over the 5 scary movies that I ranked before. Now I got to wonder when I was looking at them, some are good and some are, well, downright awful. So this is why I'm going to do this rank video for you guys. Without further ado, we're going to be doing from worst to best scary movie, the 5 in the series. Starting off at number 5, the worst pile of bunghole you've ever did see, Scary Movie 4. The worst in this list would be Scary Movie 4. It was so bad that I felt the need to do a public service announcement about suicide prevention. No guys, I'm really serious. I did a service announcement about suicide prevention. It was that bad. This movie is from the year 2006. Its main spoofs are War of the Worlds and The Grudge. This one still has Regina Hall and Anna Faris in it. So I think what ruined this movie for me was the beginning part for sure. It had Charlie Sheen's character attempting to commit suicide, and like he seemed legitimately wanting to commit suicide. It was very depressing, and yeah, that was a bad start. On top of it, The Grudge and The World of the Worlds are 2 movies that are pretty dark-seated. They used them, they paired them. Now, War of the Worlds and Grudge themselves do really well with this. Unfortunately, Scary Movie didn't use these storylines very well. What they did was they took a cheap copy of what The Grudge and the War of the Worlds people did and tried to add some silly humor. And the movie felt as if they had taken a beautiful flower and drained all the color and all of its life out of it. I even had to go back and rewatch War of the Worlds again just to confirm that it was not as bad as this dollar store cheap imitation. Guess what?
It was way better.
Number 4, Scary Movie 5. Quite the close second, but a little better. Still under, don't bother to go see though. Scary Movie 5 hits number 4 on this list. It was the last, and we will probably never see any more of these movies again. I mean, 2 gosh darn awful piles in a row. This one just added fuel to the fire of what was once a funny franchise. This one attempted to spoof Black Swan, Paranormal Activity, and
The Evil Dead.
Then they proceeded to parody a bunch of other movies. Well, Scary Movie 5 suffers from what I would say is too much trying to parody every frickin' movie. It made it a shallow piece of crud, super shallow land, just didn't feel it. There's a bunch of movies that have deep plots in themselves, but when you throw a bunch of them in there that they're supposed to do, it just gets just like cheap imitations. It was like, it reminded me of a Frankenstein creature that you put together all these separate pieces. It just didn't pull it off. It was better than the 4th because it wasn't the dumb suicide joke, so kudos on that. Regina Hall and Anna Faris aren't in it, so that's not as good. The movie itself had some funny skits, but still not worth seeing. Number 3, Scary Movie 1. A dated yet funny start to a franchise. This one was the original and the first. It was funny. I did enjoy it. Its main spoofs are Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer with a little bit of American Pie mixed in there for taste. We are entering into the realm of scary movies that I think you should see. Other than the feeling of a bit 90s with its humor, it is a classic stupid fun movie. Number 2, Scary Movie 2. Scary Movie 2 deserves a place as the first loser in this list. It has a lot of the original cast and even carries on the storylines of said cast from the first one. This movie spoofs The Haunting, the Amityville Horror, and Poltergeist, among other less used spoofs. This one has a lot of the same cast from the original one. It also carries on their storyline, so it's a little bit more in depth as well. This movie used movies like The Haunting and Poltergeist, which are all in-house haunting type themes. So I think all the stories mix pretty well. Basically, this movie is college students end up in haunted house. Haunted house is haunted, obviously. Professor is studying them and studying the ghosts. And there you have it. Pretty basic plot for them to play around with. It's got a lot of new actors as well. It's got the brother from Malcolm in the Middle. I don't know if you guys seen that show before. He's the one that went off into the military. He does a really good job. He cracks me up with the way that he ends up being in the friend zone with Anna Faris' character. And it's pretty funny. And now we arrive at the number 1 best scary movie of the entire franchise. It is Scary Movie 3. At last we get to, in my opinion, the top of the bell curve of what this 5-movie franchise was. is where seriousness meets parody. It's funny, but not too funny. This was a 2003 movie, and its main spoofs were The Ring, Signs, and with 8 Mile as a cherry on top. This one is where I felt like they really got it. Whatever they were doing in 1, where they were kind of getting it, 2, they were getting better, 3, it's like, you got it, yay! Unfortunately, after this one, they then went off a cliff. But this one is a great example of how it was done. They did great with The Ring. The Ring plot was great. It was the primary plot. They didn't try to throw in a bunch of other things, which is really good. And then they had the other ones sprinkled with signs and stuff, and 8 Mile, and some of the Matrix, but nothing like it all worked together. So by far, in my opinion, this is the best of the scary movies, and I think you should go see it. At the end of this video, I will place the scary movie review playlist where you can watch said videos to see about each movie yourself.
Peace! Yeah, boy!
Oh, hey. Hi, audience member, how you doing? You're still here, huh? Cool, cool, cool. Well, have you decided what video you're gonna pick? Or perhaps you need to subscribe still, or like, or leave a comment. Whatever the case, I hope you enjoyed my channel.